Hi there, I was watching a very interesting video the other day from the guy who calls himself the Midlife Synthesist. He's got a great channel, I've watched loads of his videos and found them very, very useful and informative. And he was talking about the track-specific punch-in effects. So to be clear, not the punch-in effects you get in the auxiliary tracks, track number 2, this one here. So to be clear, I'm talking about these things. These buttons here bring up these lovely graphics, which are great, but that wasn't what he was talking about. And he was saying that he found something better than that, the track specific punch-in effects. So how do you get to these? Well, you hold shift and press notes on the keyboard to hear these. So let's just go back to a normal instrument track. I've got the drums in focus at the moment, track 1. Okay, and you can engage as many effects as you physically are able to, and all notes in both octaves affect the selected track. So if we just run this, I'm going to hold shift and fairly obvious stuff, and it's not clear from the graphics what you're actually doing to the track, but you're certainly doing something to them. I couldn't find anything in the manual or indeed online about this in terms of a list of what's happening here, but suffice to say lots of things are happening. Now once you've engaged the effect, you can release the shift button, but you must keep the effect button or buttons down. Let's get a different scene up, something with more on it, shall we? So let's go to scene 6. Now I'm on scene 6, but I've got to go to the actual instrument track to make this work. Right, so now I can take my finger off the shift and it still keeps going. To add more, I've got to come back to shift, lift up again. Pretty cool, isn't it? Now, if you play notes in the lower octave, only the selected track is affected. If you play notes in the upper octave, all the notes in the same group as the selected track are also affected. Now, this isn't clear in the manual, and I haven't seen this explained properly anywhere else, so I'm just going to try and make myself clear here. So I've got the drum track in focus here, track 1. So if I hold shift, alter things down here and up here, listen to the melodic tracks, they're not being affected, are they? So it only affects the actual track in the lower octave, and in the upper octave it only affects tracks of the same nature as the main track. So if I had something on track 2 which was drums and I had something recorded, that would be affected up here. So basically with this drum track in focus, I haven't got any percussive elements, drum elements in any other tracks. The whole keyboard holding shift is going to give me these per track punching effects for all the drum tracks in the top octave and this specific drum track in the lower octave. So conversely, that's going to work with the melodic track. Let's go to the bass. Here's my track with the bass. Okay, so that's fine. Now, if I do the per track punching effects at this end, let's see what happens. You can hear that the bass is being affected. Just the bass, yeah? Just this track, track 3. Now if I come up here, all the melodic tracks are affected, the bass and any other melodic items on the other tracks, but the drums are not affected, you see? Remember, you can lift your finger off the shift So just to be clear about this, I've got the bass in focus, a melodic track. When I hold shift and press the lower octave keyboard notes, just that track 3 is affected. In the upper octave, it's all tracks that have melodic elements, so the bass and any other tracks, but not the drums. You see, so that wasn't explained to me, so I've got that in my head now. You might find that useful if you didn't understand it. So these are not step components, to be clear, and they're not the normal punching effects. These are the track specific punching effects. Now you might want to record these effects, and there's a few things to say about this. With the sequencer stopped, if you want to record the effect, you put the selected track into record by holding down record and then press start, or record the start and start again if you want to count in. But the punching effects are not recorded to track 3, they are recorded to that auxiliary track, that track 2 punching track. It's a little bit confusing. So if you want to erase them once you've recorded them, you erase them from that track, the auxiliary track 2, and I'll demonstrate that now. So let's just go back to where we were. I'm on track 3 where the bass is, so we'll do some punching effects on this and we'll record them. So I'm going to hold record and start. I'm going to press start again, get a count in. I'm going to record some effects. And of course this is affecting all the melodic tracks up here, just the bass. Okay, so if I press start now, you can hear I've got these effects recorded to this track. Okay, so I want to get rid of those. I don't like those, so I go to the auxiliary tracks, track number 2 which is on, and if I hold record and stop, watch the red lights go across. If I press start now, everything is back to normal. So you record it with the track in focus, but you erase it from the punching effects track, the auxiliary track 2. It's a little bit confusing, isn't it? So that's with the sequencer stopped. Now you can do it on the fly, so you can have the sequence going, and this is how you do it. So you can set the sequence going, and then you hold shift and the effect keyboard note you want, then any step in the sequencer. So to be clear, the thing's going, I hold shift, I hold the whatever button, obviously it's playing normal notes at the moment, but it doesn't when the thing's running. And then I simply press one of these step buttons, and then that gets locked in to that track. Now the only thing about this is that it can't be deleted by going to the auxiliary track 2. It gets locked in on the track. There is a way around it. The way around it is you hold shift and the same button you pressed, and then it's gone. So let's just get it going. So I'm going to hold this and this, and I'm going to press any step. I'll do step 3, and see that's in there now. Right, so what did I press? Was that divide? And now it's gone back to normal. All I had to do is hold shift and the same effect button again. So in that way I didn't use the record button at all. I just held shift, the button for the effect, any step, and then shift and that same button again to delete that from the actual track. You can of course hold the record button down, shift, and that's in there now. Now to delete it, not like that, you see. Go to this track, and it's gone. Of course you can set it going, hold record and start down, so record is locked in. Add the effect. Let's do a different track. Let's go to the drum track and do that. We'll record something into this. So get it going. Hold record and start. So it's now locked into record. So that's recorded into the track. Go to the auxiliary track 2. Hold record and stop, watch the lights go across, and the effect has been erased. So some really good stuff in there, and I'm grateful to the Midlife Synthesis for his video, because I wasn't too sure about this. So just to be clear, there are 3 main ways of affecting the tracks in this way, aren't there? You've got this track 2 punch-in effects, the standard ones. Obviously they affect the whole song, all the tracks. You've got the per track effects, which you get by holding shift and the button, the keyboard note if you like. And of course you've also got step components, which I'm not going to deal with in this video. Hopefully I've expanded that a little bit. I certainly understand it a lot better now, and hopefully you do too. If you've got any questions, do get in contact, won't you? Thank you very much for watching this video, and you'll see me in my next one.